diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. I'm still waking up. I was not feeling well last night. I had a headache all day yesterday. I got a lot of pains. I do. I live with a lot of pain, actually. And my shoulder's out. This finger's all jacked up. My wrist has a cyst in it. For some reason, my toenail keeps fucking grinding into my toe. I walk around with pain pretty much all the time. Some is harder to handle than others. So, you do what you can. But I'm going to go get a massage later. Hopefully. Waiting for everybody to wake up and get their freaking cars out of my way. Looks like I woke a kid up. You got the grandkids, so I'm probably going to be a little quiet. Go ahead and shut this. It's already too freaking hot in here. So hot, and give me a second. I'm going to go get a fan. I didn't share to Facebook. We'll work through it. Screw it. I'll turn it off in a little bit. There, where he just turned off. The cats are they will not leave me alone this morning. But yeah, I had a really bad headache for a few days. I just couldn't get rid of it. And my wife gave me one of her meds, and it fucked me up. My headache was gone, but I felt like puking all night. I was running a meeting. I had to leave. Yep. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't have much to say. I don't really want to work or do anything today. I even asked God to kind of let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am going to be your host today. I was looking through my stats on my Podbean, and somebody from Russia. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Somebody from Russia downloaded some stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe they're a regular listener and they just happened to be in Russia at the time. I don't know. This whole thing is weird because there's a lot of people I don't know. And the stats are never right. It's actually kind of frustrating, but it's just cool to see that, most of my listeners are in Colorado for obvious reasons because I'm here. But it's just neat to see that I can help people all around the world. It's just kind of cool to be able to have that, but just like anything else, I feel like it's a responsibility and it needs to be treated correctly. So, that's why I will never lead you to something that is going to cost you money. I won't do it. So, we're going to be in the big book on page 100 if you would like to follow along. Okay. I thought someone was here, but I'm not even awake enough to even know anything. Thankfully, I have recovery. It's instilled in me, so I'll be able to do it. But I like striking out on Sunday mornings, man. Come on, people, get in here. And that's a good title too. I mean, that's an inspirational watch me title. Actually, out of anything I posted today, go watch the Coldplay Dick Van Dyke video. Man, if you don't have a heart, I cried, man. And they're tears of joy. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. They did such a. I'm a big fan of Coldplay. I mean, the man just has talent through and through, and he's a good person. That's what I like. I can tell how good of a person he is. So, all right. So we're gonna be on page 100. Both you and the new man must walk day by day in the path of spiritual progress. If you persist, remarkable things will happen. When we look back, we will realize that the things which came to us when we put ourselves in God's hands were far better than anything we could have planned. Follow the dictates of a higher power, and you will presently live in a new and wonderful world, no matter what your present circumstances. Yeah, I did not imagine life to be like this. No, I had no idea. You know, I had thoughts, I had dreams, I had aspirations, and I have a great imagination. I mean, fuck, I used to run the LARP. You know, I just imagine writing a storyline for 10 people for a full weekend. That's a small one. And the thing is they have free will. Well, they're supposed to go that way, but they went that way. Now you got to make shit up to get them back over to here and guide them, right? So it was always neat. I loved it when people did it. I loved it when they veered from the path of what I had created. I loved it because it gave me another chance to show how good I was at it, and I had a lot of fun. I'm a great dungeon master because I want you to have fun. I want you to participate. I want you to earn it. And with my counseling background, I'm going to make you a better person by the time we're done with it. That's right. I used to teach people how to live life through LARPing, man. Bet. Like how to be a leader and things like that. You never know when your intentions and your will is in line with God's on what is going to be presented. So, when working with a man and his family, you should take care not to participate in their quarrels. Don't get involved. You might have, one sponsee that I could think of. He was in a relationship that I didn't think was healthy. Okay. And every time we met, about this person. And finally I said, you know what? I don't want to hear it no more. You got to make a decision on whether you're going to stay with this person or complain about them to me. But I don't want to hear about it no more. Because I'm not going to get involved in their quarrels. I can barely stay out of my own. But urge the man's family that he has been a very sick person and should be treated accordingly. You should warn against arousing resentment or jealousy. You should point out that his defects of character are not going to disappear overnight. Show them that he has entered upon a period of growth. Ask them to remember, when they are impatient, the blessed fact of his sobriety. It's a big deal. I try and involve the family if I can. But it's not for me to invade, right? Now, obviously, I tend to work with younger men, okay? And quite often they're married. Yeah. And so, I do whatever I can to support the significant other. And I say that because I don't know if they're male or female. I don't even ask. Because a lot of people say partner now, and that can be male or female. Doesn't matter. The relationship's the same. I'm going to utilize this. Especially if they have kids. Oh, then I got them. Yes, I will use anything that I can to ruin their drinking career. And I say that with the utmost love. Utmost love. Right? Um, and I will bring it up often. But that's where we start. You know, sobriety tends to start, we don't get sober for ourselves. How many people came into AA from a nudge from the judge? But then we turn around and say you got to get sober for yourself. But then those people make it. So really, no. That's what we call a multiple pathway to recovery. Yeah. So sober, any reason you want, and I'm going to use it. Okay. So if you have been successful in solving your own domestic problem, what is it saying? Well, it's saying if you're still fighting with your significant other, you really have no say so because you don't know. That's what it's saying. Let's just put it plainly. Okay. Tell the newcomer's family how that was accomplished. In this way, you can set them on the right track without becoming critical of them. The story of how you and your wife settled your difficulties is worth any amount of criticism. It's funny because I'm doing this, but God is answering some of my questions. He's answering some of my questions. And assuming we are spiritually fit, you got to be spiritually fit, or the rest of this does not apply. Okay? How do you know if you're spiritually fit? Well, we do this day by day. You have to be spiritually fit now, not later, not yesterday, not in a week. It's got to be now when you're making the decision. And you best think on this stuff. Okay? It's the holidays and you're getting a lot of advice from meetings. So I'm just going to say this. A no is a valid answer. Yes, it is. Okay. So assuming we are spiritually fit, we can do all sorts of things alcoholics are not supposed to do. People have said we must not go where liquor is served. We must not have it in our homes. We must shun friends who drink. We must avoid moving pictures which show drinking scenes. We must not go into bars. Our friends must hide their bottles if we go to their houses. We mustn't think or be reminded of alcohol at all. Our experience shows that this is not necessarily so. All right, we call this triggers. That's the buzzword that we have for that. It's called triggers. Okay. And the thing is there's a certain amount of responsibility that we need to take. First, we need to be responsible for our actions. We also need to be responsible for our emotions. And we are very, very, very much responsible for our triggers. It is not okay to demand that other people do certain things for your comfort. No. Anything that shields the alcoholic from this is you're setting them up to drink. Because what happens when that process is no longer there? See, this is a fact-facing and fact-finding mission. And I can tell you now, every show I watch has alcohol in it. Well, not all of them. There's some that are, but 98%. I watch a lot of drama. Like right now, I'm watching Landman. Every scene, they just drink the whole time. And it's funny because he's drinking Michelob Ultra. He's like, this isn't even alcohol. It's funny because he's at the bar, right? And he's talking with somebody who's drinking a spritzer or something. And she said, there's alcohol in that, right? And the bartender goes, not to an alcoholic, that is non-alcoholic. I'm like, I understood that so well. So we meet these conditions every day. An alcoholic who cannot meet them still has an alcoholic mind. Yeah. Now, don't feel bad if you weren't able to meet these yet. Right? It is a process, and you're not there yet, and that's okay. We all go through that. It took me a while. Okay. Excuse me. For Dr. Bob, 2.5 years. Right? Still has an alcoholic mind. There is something the matter with his spiritual status. His only chance for sobriety would be someplace like the Greenland ice cap, and even there, an Eskimo might turn up with a bottle of scotch and ruin everything. Ask any woman who has sent her husband to distant places on the theory he would escape the alcohol problem. All right, so, right, what are those called in the book? Well, they're called lurking notions. Yeah, they're called lurking notions. And that just means that, because here's the thing. All right, let's just create a situation. And what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to screw with your emotions here a little bit. Maybe. I don't know if you'll feel this way or not. All right. Now, you really didn't want to quit drinking. You're married, or maybe you have a boy. You have somebody to whom you are accountable, and you are staying sober for that reason, but you're not doing recovery for yourself quite yet. And they're going to go out of town for a week, leaving you alone to your own devices. Did you get excited? My stomach did. If I review that, what happened? My stomach got excited. Now, why did it get excited? Is it the drinking, or is it the getting away with it? I can't answer that. Okay? That is a lurking notion, and we can't have any. What is another lurking notion? When my daughter gets married, I can have a drink. I can celebrate with them. Anything that sets you up where you do an accomplishment where the result of the thing is drinking is bad. I couldn't come up with the right word, so I hope you understood that. All right. In our belief, any scheme of combating alcoholism which proposes to shield the sick man from temptation is doomed to failure. If the alcoholic tries to shield himself, he may succeed for a time, but he usually winds up with a bigger explosion than ever. We have tried these methods. These attempts to do the impossible have always failed. It's impossible. Sorry, somebody was screaming, and yeah, there's no reason to be screaming at the top of our lungs at 9:55. I don't know, I'm kind of in a place right now. I'm a little ticked with my kids because they think it's okay to just, okay, doesn't matter. All right. Yeah, but at the same time, I feel fortunate that my kids are in my life, so I can be pissed. I'm not pissed at them. I'm just like, I need to set some things straight that, hey, Shannon and I, we're a little bit older, and our weekends are our weekends, and we work all week, and we're older, and when I had to pay for babysitting, so I don't know why they think they can continue this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And no, I don't babysit my grandkids. I have them over, and I'm not babysitting. I want them around. I do. But it has to be done the correct way. Right? Or I'm showing a bad example. And that's what I don't want. I'm trying to avoid being a codependent while not utilizing tough love. Because I will not use tough love. Okay? I won't. It might work in some aspects. But I'm not willing. So, all right. So our rule is never to avoid a place where there is drinking if we have a legitimate reason for being there. That includes bars, nightclubs, dances, receptions, weddings, even plain ordinary whoopee parties. To a person who has had experience with an alcoholic, this may seem tempting providence, but it isn't. I want to do this next paragraph. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. And I say that, and then somebody's going to show up. So you watch. It will happen. Now I'm going to be wrong. But just in case I'm not, I said it first. You will note that we made an important qualification. Therefore, ask yourself on each occasion, having a good social, business, or personal reason for going to this place? Or am I expecting to steal a little vicarious pleasure from the atmosphere of such places? Okay. Now, I've heard the opposites on these. Oh, and then I watch people go into this thing, and then we start cutting them down. Don't do that. If you can't add to the pleasure of what's going on, let me rephrase that one, because that's an I thing, not a we thing. If I cannot go and add to the pleasure, I probably shouldn't go. If I can't find, that's why I was invited to Thanksgiving, but I went through this in my head. I'm like, I think I'm just going to cause more confusion than harmony. I don't want to do that. Some people were disappointed, but it's better than the end result. See, they wanted me to get well. Well, I got so well, they don't appreciate it anymore. If you answer these questions satisfactorily, you need have no apprehension. Let me put this a little differently, or just in different words, but not differently. Check your intentions. Just check your intentions. If they're good, you can go. If they're bad, you can't. I told you. I called it. I so called it. And for any rewatchers, I called it. Good morning, Amber. So I've been live so it was about 20 minutes. And I said, okay, I'm going to read this next paragraph, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I guarantee that somebody will show up. And I'm just laughing because I was right about something. But good morning. It's good to see you. So I will go a little bit longer because Amber showed up. I'll go ahead and just finish this. I'm on one of your favorite spots, Amber. At least, well, you read it the other day. I just finished with the whoopee parties. So go or stay away, whichever seems best. But be sure you are on solid spiritual ground before you start, and that your motive in going is thoroughly good. Do not think of what you will get out of the occasion. Think of what you can bring to it. But if you are shaky, you better work with another alcoholic instead. Now, I appreciate this, because what is it saying? It's saying that I need to be in a good place first. It means Dion needs to be, I know your spots are well enough that, oh no, Amber, it's all right. And you didn't fuck up. You made a human mistake. Like, you missed once out of 50 million times. So it's just we do that to tell on ourselves so that we go through the rest of our day. If you're readily willing to admit when you messed up, you got something on the ball. You do. My headache's coming back. That's great. All right. So what happened yesterday? Man, I had a headache all day, and it doesn't matter. I've said it like 3 times. I doubt the rewatchers want to know. So why sit with a long face in places where there is drinking, sighing about the good old days? If it is a happy occasion, try to increase the pleasure of those there. If it is a business occasion, go and attend to your business enthusiastically. If you are with a person who wants to eat at a bar, by all means, go along. Let your friends know they are not to change their habits on your account. At the proper time and place, explain to all your friends why alcohol disagrees with you. If you do this thoroughly, few people will ask you to drink. While you are drinking, you are withdrawing from life little by little. Now you're getting back into the social life of this world. Don't start to withdraw again just because your friends drink liquor. Yeah, maybe I'm just not maybe it's the air or something, but I've had a headache for like 3 days. It couldn't be my shoulder that's all screwed up. It is my shoulder right here, and you can feel it too. So I'm waiting for my wife to wake up so that I'm gonna go get a massage and see if that helps. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna have to go to the ER. I don't want to. So, you know, and I can understand the stigma and the stuff that goes around a lot of this stuff. I've never really had a problem with people trying to force me to drink, and that's me. So I really don't have any problem with telling people, they said just tell people alcohol doesn't agree with you, because I keep seeing all these things that people are making up to get out of it, and I'm talking about me here because we have reputations to keep, and I don't want you to lose your job because you decided to tell people you were an alcoholic. I don't want that, but I do know this, and I'm going to take every chance that I can to let somebody know about my past a little bit, and that it's possible for other people. And there's been quite often where that person didn't have a drinking problem, but they knew somebody that did, and then I was able to help more. Okay. So if you can, we're not always in that situation. But the thing here is, if like your friends and stuff, and they know and they want, oh, I don't know that you have a drinking problem. What that means is I'm not willing to look at my own drinking problem because I have one. That's what that means. Birds of a feather flock together. 1 in every 10 people is alcoholic. Okay. So, you can always make it fun. Depending, so people will ask me, I'm like, well, do you want me to try and screw your girlfriend by the end of the night? Well, no, then I probably shouldn't drink. Make it funny. Make it funny, but harsh. Right? And there's situations, but you can always try and make things fun and try and get your point across too. People kind of appreciate that, But my mind always comes up with these really bad, disgusting things. So, all right. Your job now is to be at the place where you be a maximum helpfulness to others. So never hesitate to go anywhere if you could be helpful. And see, that's what it is for me. And I don't mind. You should not hesitate to visit the most sordid spot on earth on such an errand. Keep on the firing line with these motives, and God will keep you unharmed. Yeah. But yeah, kind of pick your firing line, because I'm finding that the firing line might be different for some people than others. Like for me, the thought of going to detox or running a meeting actually excites me. Maybe you're like, Dion, I don't like what drunks say. It's so hard for me. Maybe we can look at treatment, going and doing treatment meetings. Maybe you spend some time in prison and you can go to these prison meetings. These are the sordid places we're talking about. Now, at the same time, if we're going to visit somewhere and it's dangerous, then we go in groups. Or maybe we pick them up and bring them somewhere else that's not as sordid. Your safety needs to be of concern also. At the same time, we got to trust in God that He's going to take care of us. So you'll find that balance within yourself, because I think it's different from everyone. Many of us keep liquor in our homes. I don't. There's no alcohol allowed in the house, and it's not my rule. Actually, it was a rule made for me, but it just stuck. And the rule was no alcohol allowed in the house and no being drunk at home. And everybody's just kind of followed it. There have been times when, like, Shannon's sister and our nieces and stuff come over, and they buy a 6-pack, like 1.5 is drank, and but that's like the extent of it. But remember, we become neutral to alcohol, And some of our friends may drink. Maybe they don't mind a little bit of wine with their whatever. I don't know how that's paired. I don't really care. I didn't drink. I drank wine for effect. It was the only reason. We often needed to carry green recruits to a severe hangover. We it's hard to do this now. Okay, we have other resources, and to be honest, a detox or the hospital is a much better place for this. Okay, because when it comes to let's just go ahead and move on. Yeah, some of us still serve it to our friends, provided they are not alcoholic. It's walking a thin line, don't you think? Oh, you're alcoholic, you can't have any. See, I already don't like that. I don't get to decide who's an alcoholic. So it's just, if you want, if it ever came up, because it has not. Let's say I invite people, or hey, if you want to drink, you got to bring your own, and you got to take it home with you. Then fuck it. But, I'm also the kind of person where you fuck around my house, I have no hesitation. I'll just toss you out. I've just been that way. Some of us, we never argue this question. We feel each family, in the light of their own circumstances, ought to decide for themselves. Here's the big part. We are careful never to show intolerance or hatred of drinking as an institution. Yeah. People don't want to hear it. There's nothing worse than an ex-smoker. It's bad for you. Well, I quit. I quit. I quit. Nag, 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 nag. Yeah. See how that hatred towards the smoking just pisses me off? I'll hear it. Tell me what to do, push my buttons, this over there, that over there. Yeah. Experience shows that such an attitude is not helpful to anyone. Every new alcoholic looks for this spirit among us is an immensely relieved when he finds out we are not witch burners. Let's say you hate alcohol. So let's say I'm still drinking and you're like, fucking hate alcohol. Then you hate me. Right? That's how I'm going to take it. No, not you. See, now we're backpedaling. Yes. No, that's true. That is true. Are they angry? Because you're drinking and they can't, and they're not getting what they want. See, this whole situation just isn't working. A spirit of intolerance might repel alcoholics whose lives could have been saved had it been not for such stupidity. We would not even do the cause of temperate drinking any good. We call that sober curious now. Okay, let's just call it temperate drinking like it's supposed to be. For not, like if I put hashtag temperate drinking, it'd be like 0 hashtags match this. Right? For not one drinker in 1,000 likes to be told anything about alcohol by one who hates it. There we go. Someday we hope that Alcoholics Anonymous will help the public to better realization of the gravity of the alcoholic problem, but we shall be of little use if our attitude is one of bitterness or hostilities. Drinkers will not stand for it. After all, our problems were of our own making. Bottles were only a symbol. Besides, we have stopped fighting anybody or anything. We have to. All right. I noticed there were a couple people here. Sometimes the chat doesn't work, so if you've been chatting and I haven't been answering to it, I apologize. It's not always the case. It's just I got that gut feeling right now that might be happening. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great Sunday. I'm sure I'll probably be back a little bit later. I hope you have a great Sunday. I love you. Peace out and have a day.